And we're live. We're
Woo!
live for a special Jurassic June Trashfire. Although this mightn't be considered a trash fire. Um,
To some
uh,
people, it is. To some people, some of the reviews I've read, yeah, to some people, it is.
can you understand the 12% Rotten Tomato rating?
I wouldn't personally give it. I don't think it's a trash fire. One, guys, it was from 1980 something. So like we're not, and I know you said there were other films around that time that could do better animatronics and better, claymation and all of that sort of things. But it was a made for TV movie for NBC. It wasn't terrible, like it not the best, but I'm not a stickler for those sort of things, so that seems to be the thing that bothers most people. It doesn't bother me.
I, you see, the thing is, Disney had already done Dragon Slayer in I think 81,
Mm-hmm.
and the creature effects on that were way better. I
Yeah.
just found the dinosaurs were goofy. Um, the plot it was interesting. There was definitely an environmental kind of fucking aspect to it. The cast was good. You had Sean Young, William Catt, and Paul Magoon.
That
Who
was one of my issues, Marty. Sean Young, she's not, no one in this movie is bad, but I found some of her line deliveries a little off. Like, I don't know, there was something about her that, and I like her. I think she's a good actress, and she's not bad in this, but some of her like, almost you needed another take or something in a few line deliveries. I was like, you're not giving this your 110%, are you?
um could have just been a paycheck movie for her.
It could have very well been. She's not. Don't get me wrong. She's not like bad or anything in it. It's just there's a few times I kind of felt like she was just kind of half-heartedly going through the motions. Maybe because I mean, this is for kids, but like I've also read some people who said that this is like a favorite film of theirs. I guess if you hit it at the right, if you saw this at the right age demographic, I could see how some people would be like wowed by this.
I just think that you said it when we were watching this. Tonally, it's all over the place
Yes,
because
yes,
got
that's
like
one of the issues.
it's got really nice endearing moments, and then it's got like fucking very adult moments between violence and fucking sex
Fucking
and shit. Yeah,
literally
it's
fucking.
like what the fuck? It's like, just when people are being like, the movie opens with Paul Magoon's kind of character, Doctor Cravat or whatever the fuck he's called, Crivet, murdering a dude, fucking James Bond style. You know the way also the I this movie is progressive, but then undoes its progressiveness later on. So the movie it's for the time, it's contemporary Africa, 1985, and we follow a group of scientists who are involved in a paleontological dig, and essentially, Paul Magoon's character, this Doctor Crevitt guy, he is trying to track down this Moba Mora, whatever the fuck the
Mhm.
tribes people call it. The movie opens up in a modern, as I said, for the time, a modern African city. There is a fucking kind of parade going on. Very like, what's that fucking James Bond movie with the voodoo and shit? The Oh
Oh,
Christ.
I I know which one you're talking about
But
too, but I can't think
but
of it.
but yeah, there's fucking, you have Magoon's character kind of following this other dude during a procession, a parade, and he fucking just straight up shanks the dude and takes these photos,
For
which are like,
kids.
yeah, again, it's like, what is this? Again, we say it's Disney, but it's under the Touchstone label,
Mhm.
and the Touchstone label was movies for adults for the family, and I'm like, what fucking family is going to be watching this to fucking get her?
Would you have let when they were around 7 or 8? Would you have let your niece and nephew see this, or would they have, or would it have disturbed them?
I don't, again, this movie's all. I don't think I would. This movie was all over the place.
Yeah, totally.
Again,
That's one of my biggest issues.
it is. It's all over the place. So we're the fucking McGann's character is the head of this fucking expedition that's doing digs, and he believes that there is dinosaurs in this particular equatorial part of Africa, and alive, and he wants to capture them. So he's kind of fucking killing off people who are kind of basically
In his
preventing
way.
him. Yeah, for the soul, he wants the soul discovery. So he's fucking. He's like they're definitely there's so many fucking nods to other movies. This movie's been described as E.T. meets Raiders of the Lost Ark, and they're definitely going for a whole Belloc vibe for McGann's character. The white suit, the fucking
Yeah.
straw hat, the cane. It's like this guy is fell out of a fucking Indiana Jones movie, and that opening is straight out of a Bond film as well. Sorry, Jen.
No. You make good points, but the thing I would say is that this movie does, for a kids movie, I would have lightened it. I think one of my issues with it is it needs to be a little like I'm not saying dumb it down, because I don't think you need to dumb it down for kids, but I think it would have helped if we would have had. I know there is a little bit of comic relief in this movie, but I feel like this should have been
some of it very
up.
inappropriate.
No,
I should add as well.
But again, it was the 80s, Marty. It was a different time, people. I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying it was a different time. But there isn't that much you could do. There's a lot of comedic potential, and for the age demographic and stuff, I think kids would have vibed with it more if we would have maybe commented it up just a bit. I think that's one of my issues. And then there, toward the end of the movie, we go fucking dark, and usually I'm all for it, but I don't know, it does have kind of a mean-spirited to-ness that kind of turned me off about it. It's not, I wouldn't say this is a trash fire, but I didn't like it.
That was definitely one of the things. One of the people thought it would do. It was just very vicious and mean spirited and just it's yeah.
And this is me saying this.
And this is a woman who fucking reads Jack Ketchum to relax, But
I was reading a necrophiliac book just a couple of days ago.
Jesus, we were doing so well. so well.
Almost made it to the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, that's grand. But so Crevitt, Dr. Crevitt has I'm probably fucking up his name, dyslexia.
I don't think you are. I think you're pretty spot on.
So Crevitt is trying to throw off anyone else from taking his discovery. For example, Susan, as the movie progresses, right, we go back to the dig site, and Susan is there with her husband George. And Susan is like, "Oh, look, I found this. I think it's part of a sauropod. I think it's a brontosaurus." And Crevitt looks and goes, "Oh, yeah, no, the bone, the calcium in the bone. It's only 80 years old. Can't be a dinosaur. Probably a giraffe." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And meanwhile, George is there, and I gotta give props to George. He's like, "You know what? My wife wants to do this job. I'm not happier. I'm trying to make a baseball team out of these workers, these African workers." And he's trying to explain baseball to him. And he doesn't want to be there. But he obviously, that's one thing I do like. I don't know if the chemistry works, but the dynamic of the relationship, it does work. But what did you think of fucking Susan and George's relationship? Did Kat and Yun work together as a couple?
They worked okay. It was serviceable. They didn't have considering some of the scenes that'll come up later in this movie, I didn't think they had super chemistry burning up the screen, but they were serviceable. I bought them as a couple, but it was a little. But then again, you kind of get the feeling we're not they were kind of in different places. You could tell that he was really pushing kids, and she was which is, I guess, for the time, the 80s, that was a very focused thing, because women were kind of thinking, well, I can can do careers. I don't necessarily have to have a husband and kids. And she's definitely more career focused. And like this movie does, like you brought this up when we were watching the movie, it does sort of, is this movie also about parenthood? Because essentially they become adoptive parents for a while to this little brontosaurus for a good chunk of the movie. Oh, and again, I feel like they could have done a little bit more comedic stuff with. They do a few kind of fun, ha 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 things, but.
Eric, hey Eric. Also, Mystic Mac in the chat. I need to highlight the chat. Apologies. Eric says, "Dare I revisit this for the first time since childhood?" It's a mixed bag, Eric. It's not terrible, but it's got its problems. Let's be honest.
It does. And see, I didn't see this, and this was a first time watch for me. I never saw this one. And I don't think little Jen would have liked this much either. There's something about, I don't hate this movie, Marty, and I don't think it's a trash fire. And I honestly think that the dinosaur doesn't look bad for the time. I know things have done better, but I've seen worse that have been later afterwards. It's okay. But this movie, I don't know. This just seemed, yeah. When it's not moving, it looks worse. When it's moving, it's a little more believable.
Honestly, for me, see, okay, two things, right? Brontosaurus had an upright neck, and it was called Brachiosaurus. Secondly, they should have had this thing as a Diplodocus. Long body, long tail, long neck, droopy neck. Here for more of the coffee table chat. We're not talking coffee table chat. Jeez,
there's no dead babies in this one, unfortunately, and they don't throw the
although it is just as violent, I'd say.
Yeah, because I would agree with, and I'm not someone who generally, but I thought it was, I guess you kids have got to learn that the world isn't full of rainbows and sunshine, but I didn't like some scenes where they're, shooting at the dinosaurs, and the scene where they kill the father brontosaurus, that's pretty rough for a 7 or 8 year old.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone who generally is like all about that, but I was like, no.
Like where the baby goes back and it's covered in vultures and stuff. It's like, Jesus fuck. I know Disney have done dinosaur genocide before in Fantasia with Rites of Spring. If you've ever seen that, but that's an animated movie. This is like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Would it have scarred you? Because you didn't see this as a kid, did you, Marty? You didn't, did you?
No. I encountered this thing much later into my life, and I was like,
how would you, because you were a dinosaur, I mean, you still are, you're all about the dinos, how would you, had you seen this at 7 or 8, how would it have changed how you felt about dinosaurs? Would it have pissed you off even at that age to go, they're not getting it right? Well, I can almost see little Martin going, this is bullshit.
I wouldn't have been this disconcerting, because again, at the time, I used to collect a dinosaur magazine. Loved it. My mom has it put away in the house somewhere. I want to find it. And all that stuff is now debunked. And back then, I would have liked this. Although I don't know if younger Martin, like, if I'd seen this post Jurassic Park, I would have been like, this sucks. If 8-year-old Martin or 7-year-old Martin had seen this, right? Be like, oh, this is okay. If 10 or 11-year-old Martin would have seen this, I mean, this sucks. Yeah, no, I'd seen clips of it before, but it's first time watching the whole thing. Oh, DMC Fair Play has a bit of info here for us. Budget 13 million, box office 14.9. Suppose it's
Eric
geez.
has a good question.
Okay, so let's. I gotta go with Theodore Rex. I'm sorry. I'm gotta go with. Now, hang on a minute. Let's see. This is a better movie, but the dinosaurs in this looks like if you went to, I don't know, is there some fucking kind of, You know the way when you're driving to fucking you're driving across America and there's a sign up Dino Land and it's been there
Yeah,
since it's a
this
fucking
is what
it's a
this
theme
reminds
park
me
that's
of.
been
That's exactly what this. I
like
took
yeah.
Jaker to something like that when he was younger and stuff. And you know, for what it is, it's not bad, but you gotta cut it a lot of breaks. You gotta cut it a lot of breaks.
Yeah.
But it
Um
doesn't. See, like people get really from when I was doing some research on this, people get super pissed like about how the dinosaur looks, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not for me. It's not worth getting angry for. Like, and I guess they're kind of like you said, they're going for a cute factor too, which it's kind
they
of cute, I guess.
they want to cutesify it, I get it, but um I've seen it done better. Like I don't know. I'll show you an example of it done better, and like give me a second, Jen.
Take your
Uh,
time, girl.
but just I've seen it done better in again. This was 85. I know it's 85.
I
But
wish it was.
no. But the movie was 85,
Yes.
and it's just I get that, but I like you can make a paleo accurate dinosaur look cute without making it look like well that. But again, it's it's 1985. I do understand. I'm trying to find a fucking picture here. That okay, this one might do. This might work. And on, give me a sec. Open image, new tab. And again, I don't know if this will work, but I'll just show you. You can do cute and scientifically accurate to a kind of point, and it doesn't delegitimize what you're trying to do. Like see,
Yeah,
I
I see what you're
see
saying.
that works.
Yeah,
That
it
that
does, and it still has kind of a cute factor to it.
yeah. Whereas I don't know. It's just they look kind of goofy to me. But
Patrick
that's
says
it.
Land of the Lost did it better from 1974.
Yeah, it did. Patrick's right. Again, there was definitely people in house at Disney who had done this before. As I said, Dragon Slayer came out in 1981, and you had I think Phil Tippett working on that, and a
Mm-hmm.
couple other guys, and that was cool. Um, and on Eric says, the brontosaurus on screen looks both drunk and high. I think whoever fucking directed this movie, David L. Miller, I think is the dude who directed this movie.
I believe so.
Bill L. Norton. He was fucking high directing this movie. Bronto Nip. Go on, what were you going to say, babe?
It's just like I said. I think where this movie's biggest problem, aside from people who might have a really big problem with how the dinosaur looks, is that the movie is both too old and too young at the same time. For adults, it's too young, and for kids, it's too old. You know what I mean? Like adults watching it aren't going to get much out of it. We've seen this and seen it done better in other movies, and kids are going to be a little bit like some kids would go whoa and stuff, and it's also it's just very by the numbers. There's nothing that they're bringing to the table. Like I said, I feel like we could have added a bigger dose of comedy. I really think that would have worked, especially with how goofy the dinosaur is. It could have worked even better if you'd not taken it as seriously as this movie tries to take it.
There is comedy, but it's not really
Unintentional though. It's
yeah,
more
no. No. There is intentional comedy. Like, okay, so as the movie goes on, right, we find out that another tribe had killed a dinosaur and was suffering food poisoning or sickness from consuming the flesh, although they don't know what animal it is. So Susan decides to go into the jungle on the night they're supposed to be going back to the States, and George is pissed, so he gets a plane back, or he gets a plane to follow her to that region of the jungle, and the pilot is like he's giving out and stuff to the pilot, And he's like, look, I just want to go back to the States and have kids and stuff. And she pulls this kind of shit. And there's a lot of swearing in this. Again,
Yeah.
there's a lot of swearing in this. But he goes, hey, man, what would you do if it was your wife? If it was me, I'd whip the bitch. And like, I just keep on, like that line, I'd whip the bitch. It's like the Disney jingle. It's like, what? Like, were you shocked by that as well?
No, and I don't think Little Jen. Of course, I was watching a lot more hardcore stuff when I was a kid, but I guess for a kids movie, it is like that's what a lot of people who have talked about this movie said, that it seemed really cool because there is a lot of cussing, and then you get it was probably some kids' first boob because we get these, but it's okay because it's like brought to you by Discovery. It's nature where you get like showing the culture and stuff, and there's these bare-breasted women.
There's bare breasts all over the place, and again, the
and even
version,
some penis.
Yeah, they're like, it's again. There's like you have Sean Young nearly in the nip in this version. I think she's actually fully in the nip in the fucking uncut version. But like, it's like, who is this aimed at?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that's where it screws up because I think adults won't get much out of it, and I kids might get some stuff out of it, but it might not be the stuff they want to get out of it. Like I said, I think I thought it was a little too mean-spirited at the end for most kids. Like I could have handled it, but I didn't like it. And again, I believe you have to show kids the ugly side of life too, but this just kind of really overkill.
Yeah, but
overkill.
when you say the ugly side of life, you mean like death and stuff like that. This is like fucking warlords gunning down animals and people
and enjoying it. And I just was like, that just kind of left me like, this is a movie that, and I don't think I would have cared for it much as a kid either. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a trash fire. And I can understand there are some people who hold this very nostalgic, and I can understand that too. But it wouldn't be one for me if I'd seen it when I was a kid. I probably would have turned it off. Honestly, I think it would have been, Little Jen probably would have switched and saw what was on ABC or CBS.
Patrick, what's the other movie in the twin pack? Like, what do you fucking pair with this as well? Like,
the animated dinosaur movie from when we were kids. Oh fuck, the one that they made a shit ton of sequels of.
Oh, The Land Before Time.
Yes, I guess you could pair it with that.
My other kind of thing was as well, and I get they had a budget, as they had a limited budget, as DMC pointed out, which I do appreciate. Budget 13 million. It was just Brontosaurus. It was just this valley camp nowhere. The fucking movie with Christopher Lloyd.
Yep, that would be the one, unless there's another one. Hi, Creepy.
Hey, Creepy Mickey. Work that fucking pairing out for me.
Okay, kids, you like dinosaurs? Hey, kids, it's summertime. You like summer camp? We're going to give you dinosaurs, and then we're going to send you off to camp. Jesus Creepy Christ. Says this one takes them back. They must have. You saw it when you were a kid, didn't you, Creepy?
Jesus H. Again, also, yes, they look goofy. They also picked, again, sauropods are cool. They're big. They're massive. But they're the most bland species of dinosaurs out there. Don't get me wrong, fucking Brontosaurus, Diplodocus, there's a whole host of them, like fucking Dreadnoughtus, another massive sauropod. They're cool, but they're very fucking boring.
They're very docile creatures, right? For dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, they're docile, but like, a Stegosaurus has those cool fucking plates and spikes on its tail. Triceratops. Now, granted, they'd probably be a bit more aggressive, but I don't know.
Well, don't they have the long neck though? They've got the long neck.
They do. Again, if it was a Diplodocus, if they made it a Diplodocus, Diplodocus had a tail nearly as long as its body that you use as a whip. The fucking whip attacking dinosaurs in the face. They didn't even do anything with that. Were you a bit annoyed that it was like, maybe no, I'm projecting. I'm projecting my views. I'm trying to, you see what I'm saying, Jen? It's like you have this kind of lost valley with dinosaurs, and it only has this one species of fucking dinosaurs, and it's like,
yeah, I get what you mean. I guess for the bang for their buck, and then I guess they want to like the kids to focus in on the baby dinosaur and stuff. And if you have too much, maybe they thought the attention would go. Like they were. I think they tried to really make this a heart thing.
yeah. Again, this is one of those movies I saw maybe when I was like 3. Took me years to figure out the movie I was watching. I was thinking of it in a vague memory.
Yeah, a lot of people thought this was a fever. Like people who saw this when they were young, a lot of people thought, was this a fever dream? Like people, like they were so happy when they would find it and go, okay, this was real. Yeah, I guess everyone has a few of those movies from childhood that they kind of remember. And a lot of people, you're not alone in that one, Creepy. A lot of people thought that this might be a fever dream one.
I like, yeah, it's a weird one because if I can see where Creepy's coming from, and I can see what you're saying. It's like, well, there's this movie with a couple looking after a baby dinosaur, and there's a shit load of nudity and genocide and fucking. It's like, wait, what? And it was released by Disney. Dude, are you fucking high?
Like the dinosaur?
Yeah. Are you for fucking real? This movie couldn't exist.
Yeah, but then it's the 80s, Marty. So yeah, I guess it could. It just, to me, it just doesn't have enough factors, and I wasn't too impressed with this movie, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's a trash fire, but I wasn't real. I just didn't. The one thing, strong emotion that came out of me is, God, this is a little rough.
It's mean-spirited. It's mean-spirited.
Yeah, and I don't, and usually I'm not such a fucking pussy about it, but like I didn't like it. The tone was all over the place.
Again, it's hard to decide who this was made for. Like, I think it's even like it's too goofy for kids, but it's too fucking mean-spirited. No, it's too goofy for adults, and it's too fucking mean-spirited for kids. And I think there's elements that it's like really boring. Again,
yeah, there's long stretches where it's kind of like, okay, let's do. You were saying that because there was one chunk of the movie when we were watching this. Marty's like, "Give me a giant spider. This movie would fix it. Give it me a giant spider, or give me a fucking crocodile, or whatever."
I just again
alligator something.
Even the fucking
the bats?
Yeah, no. Even the remake of King Kong with Jeff Bridges at least had a giant snake for King Kong to fight. Like, you're in this fucking, like, again. I am not promoting animal cruelty. I am not suggesting animal cruelty. But back in the day, if you watch the kind of fucking Doug McClure fucking movies or other movies, there's this thing called Slurposaurus where they used to glue fucking appendages like fins and horns and shit to crocodiles and lizards and stuff. Get some alligator fucking and put some safe glue on its back, make it a Dimetrodon. Hey, we got Dimetrodons as well. Something like,
because you were really, that was one thing about the movie. There was this one, like, please, something. Yeah, you were. And that was more entertaining when you were doing that than what was going on in the movie, honestly. That was a little more entertaining. Hi, Horror Cat Dad.
Larry in the house.
Woo.
Again, just like fucking Lost Jungle. There's a fucking spider the size of a coffee table. Put it on fucking wheels or something and hide it. I don't know.
you just hit it the nail on the head, Marty. This besides the tonal issues of it being too kiddified for adults and too adult for kids, the other major problem is this movie's kind of like, you would think with you got dinosaurs that would make it very interesting on its own, but this movie's also kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like it's not as interesting as you would think, and the couple's fine, but the couple's just kind of a glass of water. They're not bad, and neither of the actors are bad. But it's like, that's Jen's short review. Is
Jen, do you want to know something that'll shock you?
What?
Do you remember that Adam Driver movie called 65?
Yes, yeah, that was a big disappointment for you.
That was kind of better than this.
Oh, wow.
I hate 65. The weird thing is, I don't hate this movie. I suppose, I don't know. Hey, Jason. Let's see, Jason saying, why was there so much nudity in this PG-rated movie?
I don't have a problem with that.
Who would win, bugs or dinosaurs? Depends. There was some pretty big bugs back there.
Probably in time, the dinosaurs, though. Probably.
Yeah. But again, okay, 65 was totally paleo inaccurate. But it wasn't boring. I don't care that they had a bunch of post-Asukai in fucking the Cretaceous period. At least shit was happening.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been happening because those animals shouldn't be fucking there. But there was something happening at least.
Yeah, this one for you would think there would be a lot going on. There really isn't, and I think most kids, because basically we have this long, and it's kind of funny, but it's basically this long diatribe that most kids wouldn't care about, where he's like, she just left me like I was with a note that I was a fucking milkman. I might as well be her fucking milkman. Well, he doesn't say fucking milkman, but milkman, and like I think most kids would be like, I don't want to hear, but like how my parents talk to each other. This is boring.
Yeah, it's weird. There's this kind of hey, we should start a family. Yeah, let's use this fucking dinosaur as a template to what it's like to be raising a child. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because
what are we doing here?
It's like children.
Like, what?
It's more like a dog, and then there's a scene where they capture the baby dinosaur because the mom gets captured. So our couple, Susan and her husband, have the baby, and like the baby's like outside, and then it comes into their tent, and it reminds. And I guess you could say that this is a parallel of a little kid who's having a bad dream and wants to sleep with mom and dad, but. It's schmaltzy too. Come to think of it, this is
it was schmaltzy when the two started having sex and the fucking dinosaur tried eating fucking Susan's top.
Yeah. What the hell was that scene, Marty? By the way, what perk? Why?
There's a kink for everyone, babe. There's a kink for everyone. That's all I'll fucking say.
But I mean, what kink would there be? Seriously.
No, I don't think so, Jason.
Well, I'd be here for that one.
Oh, of course you would.
I would be here for that one. Yeah, it's a little schmaltzy, or it's horrifically like Jesus Christ, people. And the scene, like I said, the scene where they kill the father, it's like Jesus Christ.
They fucking riddle that thing. They're like,
I know. And I'm generally not, and I know it's just why is it, because one of the Jurassic Parks did it too, where I got real sad, and I'm thinking these are just fake, or the island thing, and I got real sad. Why is it always fucking dinosaurs that make me super sad?
And it's another and I know the scene you're talking about. It's where the island is exploding because of the volcano, right? It's another fucking brontosaurus. But I suppose again, I think it's like, well, these poor fucking dumb giant fuckers. You feel sorry for them. They're like fucking stupid Labradors. Sure, they're not cool, but they're big and thick. And they're like, oh, I think I'm going to blow up. Oh. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Roar was more of a wholesome movie.
Actually, Jason just brought up something there. The tribal leader, right? The tribal leader, Kaleo Matuvo, he was in Roar. He was actually in Roar. He was one of the fucking dudes who was kind of helping the family mind the tigers. I'll just double check what his name was. Matevo. He was Matevo in Roar. He's in this as well. He's the tribal leader who gets his hands on a fucking Russian machine gun and is pure gleeful. It's like, yay, I got a machine gun. And he's murdering people. He's murdering the shit out of people.
I mean, they kind of deserved it, though. I mean, I was okay with that.
It's like, yay. It's like, Jesus Christ. No, but they do it for a joke as well. He's like, she's trying to work the gun. And he's like riddling these lads. And it's like, oh, gotta cock it again. And you're like, what are you movie? This had so many of those moments. What are you speak to me, movie? Tell me what you're trying to achieve here.
Yeah, because this is about marriage and kids, but a dinosaur and how inhumane humanity can be to other humanity and stuff. And then the ending is like, it's just a legend, and I like that. That was smart. But it's like another movie Sparky and I watched where the ending's like the best part. I like where she says it's just a so people don't fuck with it and try to kill him again.
Yeah, it doesn't
deserve this good of an ending.
Yeah, George.
Movie.
Yeah, the ending is far too good for this movie. George is like, only if we let it be. And that's what he's saying. Look, we got to fucking destroy our fucking cameras and stuff. Well, at least we learned that maybe we shouldn't be parents. That should have been the fucking line. We don't really want kids.
This is going to end up in a coffee table situation if we do.
Jesus Christ. No, Jason, I haven't looked for that movie. Have you seen that one, Jimmy the Wonder, by Herschel Gordon Lewis, Jen? Have you seen that one? Because you've watched some fucking nuts shit. What was your thoughts on Paul Magoon's character? Good, bad. He again, another, when we're talking about stuff that's way too good for this movie, Sean Young, again, as you were saying, she wasn't bad, but this was a paycheck role.
Yeah.
I think William Catt was just a weird bit better. Patrick Magoon, I said Paul Magoon. Patrick Magoon, he was he was giving it socks for this one, I think.
Yeah, he was probably the best actor in the movie, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. Easily. You're like,
it's one of those things, and I'm generally not like this, but it's one of those things like, dude, maybe turn it down a little. This movie doesn't deserve you, or at least this level of stuff. But I guess they were trying to make something, and he was a cool character, and I could see how some kids go, that's a cool character, but this movie just didn't deserve that level, honestly.
No, and like, again, it's like, we've one scene where they're like, hey, let's get baby into this cave and stuff and rescue her, and then the next scene has him murdering his cohort, the kind of warlord general, by like shooting him in the chest with a tranquilizer in a really cold-blooded fucking way. And it's like, what? Again, I had to ask, what is going on here?
Well, I mean, you do ask this through multiple points of the movie. There's a scene where Sean Young and her husband are trying to trap the dinosaur, and they do it by a tent. And like, it wasn't the tent that captures it. It was like a tree trunk. It got its head stuck in the tree trunk. But I was like, what? You asked me, Jen, what was their plan? I mean, that's kind of the same thing. This movie did not think itself through.
It's like, you'd have trouble to trap a fucking Saint Bernard in a fucking tent, let alone a fucking hatched in sauropod. Yeah,
a fucking rabid dog.
Jesus Christ. I don't know.
I honestly, Marty, I think, and and I can't remember the guy. I think it was just called Mamba. I'm kind of wishing we would have done that one. And of course, it wouldn't have had anything to fuck all to do with Jurassic June. But there is a movie I want to show you that I would be interested to hear your thoughts if it was a trash fire or not, where it's just these two people get locked or in the jungle by themselves and a fucking Mamba gets in their tent. And it's interesting. It's an interesting movie. It actually has more of a plot. You wouldn't think there would be that much you could do with it, but that movie has way more stuff going on with it than this movie does.
Yeah, again, it's like there's other shit as well. It's like the the guys put a little ankle tracking bracelet on baby.
Yeah.
And they're captured by Patrick Magoon's. I keep on fucking up his name. Bad guy, fucking not Belloc. I'm calling him not Belloc. Okay, and he's like, "Oh, you put a tracker on him. We'll use the tracker to track him." And they jump out of the helicopter and they run off. And it's like, "You didn't take off the fucking tracker. That's how they're able to find you. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?"
But I mean, like, this is something that I don't think the most novice of writers would think, I'm going to fix this problem. Like, they could track them another way, but that was just a little too on the nose, darling. Even for our kids, even a 6 or 7-year-old would be like, why the fuck aren't these assholes taking off the tracker?
Christ. Had you any standout scene or part that you thought was good or interesting or fun? Or
Not good or interesting or fun. I guess props to the movie for making me feel kind of melancholy and sad, because I thought this is brutal as fuck when they're killing that. That's the one scene that I really took, is when they're shooting, the father dinosaur and stuff, and then the mother looks at him and she kind of, I mean, it's fucking brutal. And then she kind of, screams, and you can tell she's mourning, and then this poor little dinosaur seeing it all. And then Sean Young's kind of like, oh, but then she's like, you'll be fine. And I'm like, you heartless bitch. That's the thing. Those are the part. I wish I could give you like some tender or levity moments in it, but honestly, no. And like I said, I like what the movie did with, we got to destroy it so people don't fuck it up and make it worse than they already have. But I'm like, that's too smart. You don't deserve this. You got to go through the whole movie to get such a good ending.
Hey, Kal-El.
Hey, everyone.
What I was going to say, the ending assault was good, but not good. You could definitely tell William Catt was trying to relieve his greatest American hero days. It's like, believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
I guess it was sort of cool where they jumped out of the helicopter and they landed in the river. That was kind of cool, action-wise.
I like when he was bombing around the camp, setting fire to things and doing fucking a Dukes of Hazzard roll across the bonnet of a car. It's like, I used to be America's greatest hero.
Again, totally, Marty, though. Totally. Considering what we just saw a few scenes before that. Fucking the tone of this, God. The more I think about this movie, the more I'm getting pissed at it. Like I said, not a trash fire, but this movie's kind of pissing me off. If I'm going to be honest, this movie's kind of pissing me off.
It's Jesus Christ. Also, spoilers for a movie that was made, fucking
when we were about
40?
5 or 6.
Yeah,
6
yeah.
or 7, yeah.
No.
Well,
this
you were.
85.
You were younger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got an older woman with you, though.
Yeah, but you would have only been about 2 when this came out. This is
85. Oh.
85, 3 at a push, maybe. So, but fucking the end assault again, as I said before, when the chief gets like the machine gun, and it's like, it's funny, he doesn't know how to work the machine gun, yet he somehow manages to gun down people.
Again, Marty, like no offense to anyone if this was part of your childhood and it was cool. great for you, but this movie just kind of, the more I'm sitting here thinking about, the more this movie pisses me off. It's just like, what, you traumatize little kids, you get an ending you don't deserve, and you're also fucking boring. I guess I should be impressed that they managed to mix all of those emotions in one package.
This movie isn't a trash fire so much as a
No.
fucking it's a bipolar fucking disorder of a flick.
I feel that
Manic
that's sort of
bipolar.
I feel that that's a diss to bipolar thing, so honestly.
Jesus Christ.
Because you're right, this isn't interesting enough to be a trash fire. I think at least a trash fire you can make it has to be somewhat interesting. This is like either makes you really sad and melancholy, or you're bored, or you're either apathy, or we're doing, what the fuck are you doing, movie? You're questioning some of the movie's choices. And I think kids would have, well, maybe not kids, but I think some kids might have been like, what the fuck?
This movie is like a prostitute trying to give fellatio to a belly button. That's what this fucking movie is. Okay, you're like, what? What are you doing? What's going on here? How should I feel? How should I feel?
just gotta inject it with something. You'll feel something eventually.
Hello, Vel's video vault.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Welcome.
Yeah, no, it's just. What are you doing, movie? That should be the title of this. It has a long title, Baby: The Secret of the Lost Legend. It should be called fucking What Are You Doing, movie? Baby, what are you doing?
Babe, bipolar baby, what are you doing?
That should be on the what should be on the back of the case. Movie, what are you doing? At least one good element came out of this. I don't know why. Jerry Goldsmith loves this movie. He done the soundtrack for this movie.
I saw that. I was like, wow.
It's the one he's most proud of. The belly button pose. Yeah, no, it's the one he's most proud of.
Okay. Does he say why?
I'll just have a look. I'll just have a quick look here now. Veteran composer Jerry Goldsmith recalled the experience with such fondness that he included it in his industry tribute to feature film. And as a result, he released a platinum edition of the movie's soundtrack in 2008.
Okay, then. I mean, it's nice to be proud of your work.
Mickey, so you think on the back of the box that I should put the quote, it's like a prostitute trying to give fellatio to a belly button.
It's a good quote, darling. It is a good quote. I feel you should incorporate that into your channel somehow.
It's weird. That's the only way.
I'm going to try to give fellatio to your belly button one day.
No, it's just, I know, I will react as I reacted to this movie. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
I guess it depends if you have an innie or an outie.
Okay, then. Who would you recommend this movie to? Or can you tell anyone?
I mean, again, I say this because I know there's people in the chat who probably have seen this and have like nostalgic memories, and that's cool. I don't think I would recommend this if I don't like to be a dick, but it was cool to see dinosaurs. I don't want to be a dick, but I wouldn't recommend this. There's better ones out there. And again, what are you doing, movie? Like, I get you're being bipolar, but Jesus Christ, pick a lane here. Like, what are we doing, guys? I really wouldn't recommend it. I wish we would have seen a movie where a couple gets trapped in a tent with a mamba. That's what
And
I
she
want to watch.
she's terrified of fucking snakes.
Yeah, I am, but I honestly, Marty, I think I would have rather watched the Mamba movie today with you because I would have been interested in your thoughts.
I'm sorry, babe. Maybe we should watch Carnosaur or Carnosaur
No,
2.
no, 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 no. I had a good time. I always have a good time when it was with you. And this isn't like the worst. It's just one I don't necessarily, unless you have some nostalgia for this movie, like you grew up with it or something. There's other movies. I think your time could be spent. And I hope I'm not coming across as a dick, but I honestly think your time could be better spent with other movies. Or am I being too much of a dick?
No, you're not. I think this is maybe if you're a diehard collector of dinosaur movies at a push, and I do mean at a fucking push, I recommend this. Again, I think 65 is better than this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate,
you
hate 65.
You do. He does. I can totally. But you know what, darling? I can't be too mad at this movie for the very thing is I love the belly button fellatio. I'm with Creepy on that. That's a hell of a good quote, darling. You need to do something with that.
I'll put it on a t-shirt. It's like,
oh dear, 65 was horrible. Everyone seems to have that opinion.
That movie, Jesus Christ. Somehow it managed to be boring but still more exciting than this. And how do you fuck up a spaceman with a laser rifle trapped on a planet with dinosaurs trying to protect a little girl? I'll tell you why. You don't fucking bother to do the fucking research and you start making up your own fucking species. Hey, I'm gonna fucking pluck shit from other time periods. I'm gonna put fucking post a fucking Sukai all over the fucking place. Hey, this fucking thing should be in the Triassic period, but we're putting it in the Cretaceous period and we're putting that there. And I'm like, what the fuck are you meant to be? What the main boss dinosaur at the end is a fucking T-Rex sized Postosuchid. First off, right, there wasn't that many Postosuchids left at that time. Okay? 4-legged fucking dinosaurs had fucking stopped existing, okay? At this fucking point. It was all theropods, big 2-legged fuckers. And then you get a fucking Postosuchus the size of a T-Rex. And I'm like, who fucking taught this? Who was like, who fucking no? This thing, first off, this thing shouldn't exist in this time period. Second off, it should be that size. It shouldn't even be close to that fucking size.
I know you're super passionate about dinosaurs, but I am not, darling. So while you were talking about thoracics and pukas and pookers or whatever, I was just thinking, I wonder if you have an Audi belly button, if it could get hard if you gave it enough fellatio.
Maybe.
That's what I was sitting here thinking.
Fucking
I love you, darling. I love you. I do. But that's just what I was thinking. I was kind of imagining a throbbing, like erect belly button. And I was like, that could be interesting.
It's just, again, 65 pissed me off.
I know it did.
But it has more entertainment value than this.
Marty, how do you feel about this? Like, I know you don't like, but I mean, did you have fun?
There was elements I enjoyed that I probably shouldn't have enjoyed. Like the fact that like some of the characters are just, even the good guys are terrible human beings. Like,
Exactly.
The fuck?
It's like when Stimpy crawled on his belly and met the elf voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. I totally understand what she means.
Jesus Christ. What has happened here?
We've got off the rails.
The
end of a hot dog. Now we're on.
Jesus Christ almighty.
My people. These are our people, darling. But it's not. I'm agree with you. It's not a trash fire.
No, it's not a trash fire. There's some entertainment to be had, and again, if you are a dinosaur fan, if you're a fan of dinosaur media, at a push, at a push. Look, do you know what? If you're someone who fucking enjoyed the 1970 King Kong with Jeff Bridges, maybe you might enjoy this.
Or if you grew up with it.
Yeah. I just, again, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, movie? Look, let's get your tongue out of my belly button, please. Please.
I'm gonna do that. Wait. I won't do it right away, Marty. But I am gonna put that on our sexual bucket list.
Okay. Scored this one at a dollar store.
That's cool.
If you have a 6-pack handy, fucking by all means, fucking cut into it, like, you know.
Or maybe something a little harder.
Yeah. You know, maybe some Mary J. Blige. Yeah, okay.
But I'm not sorry. It's one that you know we saw it, and I'm glad we saw it. But we should have done the Mamba movie, Marty. We should have done the Mamba movie.
Look, Jerry Goldsmith fucking stands by this. Does he stand by the fucking Mamba movie?
Probably not.
No. Again, he says he recalled it as with such fondness and insisted it be included in the Industry of Cinema's tribute album. It's like, what the fuck? Like, the thing is, can you remember the music?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's nothing that stands out in my head, but when I did hear it, it wasn't bad. It was kind of like, that's pretty good for this movie. Again, it's sort of like the one actor. This is almost too good for this movie. But it's nothing that sticks out in my. At the same time,
no, for me, it felt like fucking kind of, oh, they're doing knockoff Raiders music.
Marty was singing the theme song of that the whole time.
Believe it or not, William Cat was fun in this movie as well. Just,
I liked that was probably the most enjoyable thing is when they're in the helicopter and he's just giving out to the one dude about how Sean Young left him and stuff. That was somewhat amusing. That was the funniest part in the movie for me.
And he wants kids.
Funny,
he wants 4 kids.
Yeah.
He wants 4 kids.
He wants really because he was a thing. He was one of 6.
Let's see.
Larry says it does. Yeah, Larry, I wouldn't waste my time with this one, honestly, and I'm not being a dick. But if you don't have nostalgia for this movie, you're probably not gonna get much out of it.
That, and if you have a young kid or something, I don't even think they'll either be bored or scared or traumatized or like fucking, you know.
Yeah, they're like Marty said, there are other movies to be had, and it's not interesting enough to be a trash fire. But I still had a good time because it was with you.
And because I paraphrased it's like giving a prostitute giving fellatio to a belly button.
That was worth the price of admission right there, darling. You have got to do something with that. Even
for the nostalgia, I wouldn't rewatch it.
Yeah, and I don't have nostalgia, but but if you don't, then you don't have much to work with.
Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Airmail. How do you feel about Robert Patrick fighting ninjas with frosted tips?
At this point, Marty, I'll take it. After this movie, you got me at a good point. This would be a good time to ask about anything because it's like, gotta be better than this.
Night Beast 2?
Fuck you, Marty. Fuck you.
Don't worry, there isn't any Night Beast 2. Yes. But yeah, no, yeah, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think we've said all we can say about Baby, the Legend of the. I don't remember the whole
The
title. This
Secret
is
of the Lost Legend or something
that
like that.
thing. Our youngest is 3 and deep into his dino phase, but I don't think I could. Yeah, yeah.
No, dead honestly, right? So I'm gonna do an age bracket thing. So between 3 to 6, Land Before Time.
Mhm.
3 to 6, Land Before Time. 7 onwards, the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movies. I go with the park because the world movies are diminishing fucking flicks of diminishing returns.
I'm not
Um,
even supposed to be here.
yeah, it's not. Jesus Christ. Yeah, God damn it.
Oh God,
That
I
last
triggered you.
battle.
I triggered you.
That last battle.
Oh
That
God. Here
last
we go,
fucking
people.
battle in Dominion, right?
Oh
Where it's
God.
like, oh, cool. They're trying to make
I'm
the
with you,
fucking
Tommy.
Giganotosaurus this big badass cunt. He doesn't even kill anyone in the movie. He fucking beats up the T-Rex, steals its deer, then gets in a fight with the T-Rex at the end. And like it's raining and shit, and it's like the ending fight is like a prison movie where the T-Rex doesn't win because he's more able to combat it. It's because the fucking Pterosaurus is like some skittish schizophrenic who shouldn't be put in general population. And it's like, I don't want to be in this shower room. And he's got a sharpened spoon and he just shanks the fucking dude at the end. God damn it. Sorry.
Anyway,
Sorry.
you were doing before you had that meltdown, darling. You were doing a ranking.
Okay, so Land Before Time, 3 to 6. The Jurassic Park franchise, I would say fucking obviously fucking 7 to whatever age. Um if you're of an older kind of disposition and you have the patience for stuff, older movies, Valley of Guanji, not many people see Valley of Guanji. You also have the original King Kong, and maybe if you want to start some, because it's a bit extreme for younger kids, but maybe 10 or 11, the Peter Jackson King Kong, because
Yeah.
that's a bit that's a bit extreme for younger kids, particularly the bit with the insect pit. But I would definitely say about 10, 11 onwards, they'd be okay for the Jackson King Kong. But if you want to watch dinosaur movies and you have the patience from, definitely check out, say, Valley of Guanji. If you like your schlock that's a bit more exciting and not as super paleo accurate, the Doug McClure movies that came out, the people that time forgot, the land that
That's
time
a good one.
forgot, yeah, and yeah, there isn't
We're
many.
back. A dinosaur story would be good for creepy little
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. We're sorry, I totally forgot that. We're back again. That would work for the 3 to 6 year olds. Um, there isn't that much in the way of kind of dinosaur movies.
The show Dinosaurs also. Like, I know it
Yeah.
doesn't, but that's fun.
That would be, I'd say, maybe for the 6 to 30-year-old bracket
Or even 40-year-olds.
or 40-year-olds. Yeah, but
I
yeah,
fucking love that show, Marty.
and there's other good TV shows as well. If you want something for younger kids, if say the same age of watching the Turtles, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, that was
Yeah.
really good. Extreme Dinosaurs, which was the Turtles knockoff and a spin-off from Street Sharks. For older teens and adults, and I will never stop singing its praises because it's fucking brilliant. Jendi Tartakovsky's Primal. That is the one show that makes the Ceropod, that makes a long necked dinosaur scary, because you get a fucking zombified fucking 28 days later brontosaurus, and it's Primal. Check out Jendi Tartakovsky's Primal. And lastly, live action kind of dinosaur show, Terra Nova. You got one season. There's people fleeing a polluted Earth to set up a colony in old times. Yeah, Dinosaurs is a great show. Larry said that.
I loved it too as a kid. Well, I still do, honestly. Like I'll still watch it. But this one, I guess unless you have an attachment to it, I wouldn't really bother much with it. And I guess we've done it for you guys. There's not a lot of fun to be had.
Again, you probably also noticed myself and Jen were kind of struggling to talk about stuff with this one as well, I think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't have to, and I don't like been watching the extreme. Oh, on Tubi, cool.
Oh yes, sorry, Vel, you're dead right. Dino Riders.
Dino Riders, yeah.
I love Dino Riders. Dino Riders, Dino Power. I had the Striacosaurus back in the day. Ooh,
yeah, this one I did have a little bit of trouble and I don't like to, you know me, Marty. I don't like to get.
No, yeah, Jen doesn't shit on movies. I don't shit on movies, and we're not shitting on this movie. We're just saying there isn't. It's a weird fucking counterbalance. There isn't much going on here, but there's also too much fucking going on here. Again, it's like, woman, what the fuck are you doing down here?
I'm still gonna try that belly button thing though.
You're
welcome.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. But babe, I suppose we finished up here. What is next for you and Velvet on your channel?
Well, we've been doing Pride Month, but we've been doing some kind of like we did. I saw the TV glow, and we also, this doesn't have anything to do with Pride Month, but we also did the coffee table. So we've been doing some heavy, dark things, right, guys? So for our next one, we wanted to do Pride, but we wanted to do something lighter. So we will be talking. You guys are going to get a review very soon of Seed of Chucky and getting a little lighter. And on Friday, guys, to before Pride Month is gone, we are going to have some awesome people, and we're going to be just talking about LGBTQ plus issues and movies and horror and how the two correlate, and just everyone's bringing some interesting topics to the table. I don't want to talk about it too much, and we have some fabulous people that are going to be on the panel, and I get to be the token straight.
I know. I for one, I'm enjoying the stuff you're putting out for Pride Month. It's fantastic. And again, it's cool. It's cool that there's some fucking kind of representation for. There is other channels out there that do just as fantastic jobs, but the fact is, you're dedicating an entire month to kind of go over LGBTQ horror. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, because representation matters. It really does. Oh, cool, Larry. I will definitely check out your video.
But yeah, no, myself.
What about you?
I'll see what comes out soon enough. I might be taking a break for a while and come back again, but I'll see. I'll be floating around. I'll think up something. But
and also should we tell them how close we are to 50?
We are 5 away from 50. So we're probably going to do a special movie.
Yeah, for when we hit 50, we are good. I just basically parroting what you just said. We've got a special movie in mind for when we hit our 50.
Oh, that'd be cool. Being on on the channel with yourself and Don. Pretty awesome. That'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, no, I'm gonna wrap it up here. But thanks a million to everyone who stopped by. Larry, Vel's Video Vault, Creepy McGee, always great to have you.
Thank you.
Who else had we?
DMC we had earlier.
We had Kal-El. We had Jason.
We had Eric. We had Patrick.
Was in there. Patrick and Eric were here. Big thanks to everyone who stopped in. Mystic Mac was in. A big thanks to everyone who fucking stopped in, because again, I think we were struggling to kind of explain / review this movie
Yeah, we were, but hopefully everyone still had a good time and stuff. And I guess this is one thing to kind of pull back the curtains is sometimes movies help, but like sometimes when you have one that's a little bit of a dud, and if I'm gonna be honest, this one was a little bit of a dud. I think we did the best we could with it.
Yeah,
Hopefully
yeah, yeah,
everybody
yeah.
had a good
And
time.
again, like we reviewed it so you don't have to, you know.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We're
Yeah.
fucking stealing fucking Doug Walker. Jesus Christ, stealing from that prick. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it here, but big thanks to everyone who stopped by, and as always, big thanks to my gorgeous girlfriend for watching this bizarre grim snooze fest with me. And yeah, with that, so have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Penis.
Dinosaur
Penis.
penis,
And
navel,
bright
navel,
penises and vaginas.
and navels, and
And
navels,
navels.
navels.
Yay.
Bye.
Woo. Hard